Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today I wanted to do something different, so I'm gonna do like a bad movie review. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Adelaide. If you haven't been here before, I make content basically about anything kind of related to either what I like to eat, what I like to do for makeup, what I like to watch, and just general my lifestyle. Today, I actually wanted to do something a little bit different, which is a movie review. So since quarantine has started, me and my best friend have been doing what we now have titled Bad Movie Fridays. So what we'll do is Friday night, we'll both basically pick a movie and watch it over FaceTime. We are both notorious multitaskers, and in the sense that I'm pretty good at doing it, she's really bad, but it's the only way that she watches television or movies. So this is how it goes. We've determined we can't watch movies that are actually considered really good because, one, we don't pay enough attention to catch everything. Basically, we've done this for many weeks now, and I just thought, why don't I just summarize what my thoughts were for all of these movies? Some of them are alright, some of them are great, some of them are not so great. Some of them, most of them, are children movies. Movies for children. Disney movies of some sort. So the first movie is Descendants. And the reason why was because I really wanted my best friend to watch this because I had grown a little attached to it after I saw it for the first time. Right, I'd seen the movies already before. I thought the story was just really cute. I thought the male lead was just really cute. I thought the romance was really cute. I thought everything was just cute. And I was like, this was a decent quality watch for Disney Channel. Kind of came out around the time we went to college. So we watched Descendants, and I get Melissa to watch this for the first time. She had made fun of me for like months for every single time that I mentioned. I was like, oh, okay, I like kind of really like it. It's probably not normal for a 24-year-old to be watching, but you know what? I enjoy it. My review of this movie. I personally liked it a lot. Story-wise, it's not like, it doesn't always make sense. The characters are pretty childish, but it's a Disney Channel movie that's like to be expected. I'm not expecting some sort of Oscar-winning performance. Plot-wise, I love the idea that it's the descendants of all of your classic Disney heroes and villains. So I think the idea and the world that they created was really cool. I think that the storyline being more so around these four friends and kind of their bond and friendship, I thought that was really a nice touch because it's just, you can tell that the movie is trying to teach a lesson, and I think they convey the lesson pretty well. And then last, you always gotta add a little bit of romance, which is probably part of my favorite part. I'm just as I learned, I'm such a simp for just really cute teenage romances. So in terms of ratings, I'm gonna do a 5-star system, and I would say Descendants in terms of, okay, going back to this bad movie rating, I'm gonna qualify this by enjoyment and how much I enjoyed my experience watching the movie. It's 5 stars in terms of, did I enjoy it? Would I watch it again? And have I watched it again? Most definitely. It's definitely 5 stars. I have watched it multiple times now. And then next, in good old fashion, because this isn't a spoiler, but the end of the movies go like, oh, did you really think that was the end of the story? So Descendants 2. We ended up watching this the very next day because Melissa was like, you have to tell me what happens. What happens? If I was to compare the two movies, I can't say which one I like more if I really put it on it. I've always thought I didn't like the first one as much as I liked the second one, and I think it's just the second one has better songs or more memorable songs to me. The second one has an underlying message for like what, you know, they want to teach kids about like good and evil and how you don't have to be perfect, or like there's no such thing as perfect. You're gonna make mistakes, and like it's okay to make mistakes. And overall, really like the underlying message of Descendants 1 and 2, and you throw on all the Disney level stuff on top of it, and then it's just fun. The cast did like a carpool karaoke type thing where like they just blast the soundtracks and then they sing along. and I basically like all of those songs. I know my Descendants songs now. I'm so embarrassed to say that, but it's true. Also, Kenny Ortega is the one who like directed these, and Kenny Ortega did High School Musical, and everyone loved High School Musical. So I'd give movie 2 also 5 stars, just because I would watch it again, and I have watched it again, and I really like the songs and I really like the music. Moving on to the third movie. I'm not gonna rate this one. No, I am gonna rate this one, and I would say the third movie might actually be my least favorite, and I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars as a result. I think I would watch it again. I think something where the third movie fell short was none of the songs were as like memorable. I still think that they had an underlying message, and I think it was still a good message, but I think it also added weird layers that I wasn't a fan of, and it also just felt like the movie kind of drifted, like the plot. There's too many intertwining plot lines that they were trying to cover in the third movie. And that's the Descendants movies. I could talk on and on and on. The next movie that we watched was a Netflix film, and it was called Feel the Beat, featuring Sophia Carson. So let's go back a little. The reason why we decided to watch this movie is, one, yes, it had just come out, and me and Melissa just really love Sophia Carson's character in Descendants. Like, she's so pretty. She's just so pretty. Like, so pretty. So we wanted to support your girl and watch her Netflix film where she was the lead girl. So we watched Feel the Beat. This movie is about her character being on Broadway, or at least going for an audition, basically gets shunned out, blacklisted. She goes back home to her old small town. Oh, there's this competition that if they compete in it, like she gets to like work with someone really famous. It's one of those type stories where it's like, oh, she went out to New York and tried to like be successful, and then she failed, so she goes home, kind of remember her roots. Her character was not the most likable. Other characters were also not super likable. So in terms of likability, would I watch it again? Have I watched it again? I'd give this like a, you know what? I'd give it a 3. I don't think it was absolute trash. I won't rewatch it, I don't think, but it was like an average romantic classic movie, that like classic plotline type movie that like just happens. Keeping on the Sophia Carson train, we did end up watching the next movie because she's also in it, but it is an older movie. It is before she filmed Descendants, I believe, and it was the Disney Channel remake of Adventures in Babysitting, also with Sabrina Carpenter, and she's also very pretty. So we stand some beautiful girls. Women? Sophia Carson is older than me. But either way, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous people. So we decided to watch Adventures in Babysitting. This had the typical kind of, there are two polar opposite type characters. They kind of end up in a situation where they have to work together, and then, you know, they kind of learn more about each other along the way, and then they kind of become friends. So in terms of like plot and likability, I thought it was a really cute movie. I thought it was enjoyable. The plot was a little bit silly, as it always is. I thought the kids were pretty cute in it. If we're gonna go back to my scale, I enjoyed it more than Feel the Beat, so I guess I would give it a 4. This is getting really sad because, I mean, like, what is gonna be a 2 or a 1 or a 0? The next movie that we decided to watch was A Cinderella Story, If the Shoe Fits, because we're still on our Sophia Carson kick and we're still trying to watch all of her movies because we want to support our girl. Beautiful, kind, gorgeous girl. I love the A Cinderella Story series. So enjoyable. Love Hilary Duff. Love Selena Gomez. Love Lucy Hale. I think this is the 4th installment, and to be fair, I still love Sophia Carson. This is why I wanted to watch this movie. But wow, this one was not good. This one was like a different level of ridiculous because she pretends to be a different girl by putting a wig on, and she pretends to be British because the guy is British. I didn't think the guy was that cute. Her British accent was really, really bad, and I know it was supposed to be bad. The setting was like at a hotel resort, so it's like someone she wasn't even gonna meet and like be with forever. There's no longevity the length of time that he spends with her is like minuscule. Because at least, you know, in a Cinderella story, Princeton girl and Nomad are like, they have a history. They've been chatting on IM. These people did not have a connection. They literally just started like flirting. Not the best, not good. Would not recommend. And I love the Cinderella story series. I'm gonna give it a 1. It's 1 star. It's that bad. Next movie that I'm gonna convince Melissa to watch, because she's never seen it, is Miss Congeniality, featuring Sandra Bullock. I love Miss Congeniality. This is one of my favorite movies. I would just say go watch it. If you've seen the memes about what is your perfect date and it's April 25th, all you need is a light jacket. The sad part is Melissa knew this meme, but she'd never seen the movie. In terms of ranking, I would give this 5 stars in terms of my Bad Movie Friday. The next movie we decided to watch, we were at this point getting a little bit stuck. We see that a Reese Witherspoon movie is trending on Netflix, and it's called How Do You Know? This movie, I don't think we knew what we were getting ourselves into, because I think this movie is really about something deeper. It kind of just didn't fit into Bad Movie Friday because we couldn't tell what was going on. This movie was so confusing, so we were both just watching and suddenly like things happened and we're like, what's going on? Who is that? So what's happening to Paula Rudd's character? You know what? I'm gonna give this movie 2 stars because I'm sure it's better than what my perception of it is. And then this is when we got into the Kissing Booth movies. And we're like, we're out of movies. Should we try Kissing Booth? I don't know what to say about the Kissing Booth series because the reality is I don't know if I liked it that much. I don't think I agree or relate a lot to Elle's character. She was kind of all over the place and things kind of just happened to her. The conflict that happens is like strange. Like you would think that the initial conflict is about Elle's character and her love interest, but it's not. And there was also just like, well, this didn't make any sense. Like, why do they like each other? And in the end, I still think, why do they like each other? In terms of likability and would I watch it again and how confused I was, I would give this a 3. I don't think it was my favorite. What's his character? Jacob Elordi. His character, in my opinion, looks miserable the whole time. Every single time I looked at his face, he just looked a little sad and I was like, the boy looks miserable. Can someone please end his misery? Then we decided to watch Kissing Booth 2, and this movie was confusing. The new guy that shows up, who's supposed to be like the conflict, who's she gonna choose, who does she like more guy. It bothered me so much that his voice and his looks just didn't seem to match. My mind just couldn't piece that together. He just didn't sound the way that he looked. Didn't feel super attracted to him. Movie was a bit long. It wasn't very long after that we heard that there was actually a 3rd movie that was filmed at the same time and it's coming out sometime next year. I'm sure we'll hit a Bad Movie Friday if this is still going on next year, so I'm bound to watch that. But for Kissing Booth 2, what would I rate it? I would also give it a 3. I watched it and it was fine, but didn't feel invested in their relationship so much. The last 2 Netflix movies, during this time, another Sabrina Carpenter movie came out, and it came out with Jordan Fisher and also came out with Liza Koshy. This movie is called Work It, and gotta say, I love Jordan Fisher. He just really flourished. He's amazing. He's just so talented. From what I've seen, he's just so humble as well. I was excited to watch it because of Sabrina Carpenter and Jordan Fisher, but in reality, their chemistry was kind of weird, in my opinion. It didn't seem to make the whole lot of sense. And in the end, I think what saved this movie and what I thought was the most enjoyable was Liza Koshy. However, I do think Liza Koshy was just being Liza Koshy in this movie, and that's kind of why it worked. Would I watch it again? Also probably not. What would I give Work It? You know what? I'd give it 3 stars as well. It's very average. It's not something I would rewatch, but I wouldn't say I hated it. And the last movie that we have watched so far for Bad Movie Fridays. I've gone through a lot of movies, but anyway, we watched Always Be My Maybe. I have seen this already, so this was me having Melissa watch it for the first time. I think that this movie has finally grown on me. First time that I watched it, I didn't really like it. I will say I think the problem was I'm not that into Ali Wong's humor. It's really hard to enjoy something when something is not your humor. After it being the third time and knowing what was supposed to be funny, I think I was able to kind of put it past me and be like, yeah, this is enjoyable, this is funny. Also, Keanu Reeves, hilarious, so funny. So in terms of likability, I will say that this one was pretty good. I've clearly watched it for a third time and have decided that I can watch it for a third time. I did have issues with it. I did think that Ali Wong was just being Ali Wong in this movie versus whatever her character was. But all that being said, I would give that 4 stars. It was still pretty good, still pretty entertaining, and I think it was a great representation of Asian Americans in a movie. That wraps up my Bad Movie Friday review for, I guess, the first round. Depending on how quarantine goes, I don't know how many more movies we're gonna go through, but this is what we started with. So let me know if you liked this content, if you liked hearing like what I've been watching and what I've been enjoying and or not enjoying. Comment down below, give me a like. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button, and let me know if you like these Bad Movie Friday reviews. I'm probably gonna keep doing them anyways, but if you have any suggestions for like if you want me to talk more about plots or just my opinions, maybe you don't want plots, but yeah, thanks for watching and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.